The number one thing you might want to consider when allowing your kids screen time, I would say, is supervision. Like, there's just no two ways around this, okay? Parents would have to be on top of whatever their kids are consuming. So far as you've provided or gotten them, like, the gadgets, the phone, mobile phones, the device, whatever it is, and it's connected to the internet, okay? You should be on top of your game. And I say this, the thing is that for me, I see the like this phone, yeah, I see it more as like a tool, okay? That's like a tool that opens kids into this world of good and evil. No, in fact, good versus evil. That's how I see it. And so if you're not cautious, if you're not controlling, but to at least have an upper hand of what they're seeing, what they're viewing, because whatever thing this kids are consuming, it's definitely going to have an effect on them, going to have like an effect on their social life. It's going to have an effect on the way they react or behave in public with other people and all of that. And so why wouldn't you want to be a part of whatever your kids are consuming, especially if they are kids? Okay, so supervision is like you can't trade it for any other thing. Also, I get it when parents are like there's still parents who go like, Charlie, the phone they have no clue, no idea, the computers and all. Yes, I can understand it because these kids were born in this generation, in the computer generation, and their parents were not, and so it's understandable. But it really isn't an excuse. I don't think it's an excuse to say that you don't know, you don't want to know. Okay, it's simply asking, or try to engage or try to spend more time with them, just so you just see once in a while, you peep what they're going through, what they're reading, what they're seeing, what they're watching. Okay, if they're asleep on with your phones, there's a way to find out their history of whatever things they're doing on the internet browser. There's a way to find out the history, okay, on their PCs, to know what they're doing. It's that simple. Okay, you can ask other parents perhaps who might be technical or technically inclined with tech and gadgets and all of that. Okay, so supervision is you can't joke with that. You should be on top of whatever your kids are consuming. Okay? The second suggestion I would give when it comes to screen time is balancing. Okay, balancing for me is sort of like an encouragement to kids. Okay, where you engage them in activities both indoor and then outdoor activities. You realize that kids spend most time on computers or gadgets when they're alone doing nothing, and so you might want to consider engaging them on the outside as well. Now, yes, you can use phones on the outside where parents might not have that kind of a supervision, but with what I'm talking about is spending more time in other external activities other than constantly being on your phone or constantly being on screen, spending so much time on screen playing games. Okay, there are other alternative games that kids can play on the outside or even in the house, okay, with family, friends, relations, depending the family setup or where they live and all of that. Okay, I mean, a lot of things goes against us when it comes to these things. Okay, but as a parent or as a caretaker, you might want to just want to strike a balance as to how much time they are spending on these gadgets or on these devices, as to how much time you're having for them, engaging them in other home activities. It could be cooking, it could be cleaning, and it could be all of the things that we grew up learning. Okay, I don't think those things are dead and done, and so we are doing away with them. These things that goes ahead, to children, I believe, learn to cultivate certain habits if parents would only engage them in those activities, like the cooking I'm talking about. And so try to strike a balance. That's the point. Try to strike a balance. Not too much on screen, but a lot more activities. Okay, because in the activities you're also learning other things as well. Yeah, other hands-on things, do-it-yourself stuff. So the next thing to consider with regards to screen time is age appropriateness. Whatever thing your kids are consuming, is it their age? There was a time where if you DVDs or movies, cartoons, whatever, books, okay, they had this rating on them, okay. It was clearly and boldly written, okay, 12 years, 16, whatever years, okay. It was so bold, but now it's just so hard to make out all of those age restrictions, okay. But the good thing about if your kids spend more time on online, say watching YouTube channels, okay, so YouTube allows content creators whenever they are uploading their videos, okay, it gives them this parameter where they have to indicate whether their content they're uploading is kids appropriate, okay. That's is it good for kids viewership or for toddlers watching, okay. And these are certain things that certain safety measures that YouTube has put in place. But then again, you as a parent or you as a guardian or a relative, okay, should be on top of your game when it comes to their age limit. Is it age appropriate? Is it worth their age? There's just so much content, so much content. I just can't number, okay. I can't just put no figure to it. And the thing about what happened to content YouTube channels is that whilst your kids are watching, YouTube is suggesting other alternatives, advertising other channels, okay, to them. And that's where usually the issue would come, okay. And if you're not careful, your kids might just be clicking, and so you might want to set certain standards. YouTube provides kids channels, Amazon also provide kids channels, and the countless TV channels as well, okay. So you might want to consider their age. Is it appropriate for them, whatever content they're consuming? A lot is being pushed down the throats of kids now, a lot of violent, sexual, immoral, you just name it, it's just being pushed and shoved down the throats of kids. Nakedness is no longer nakedness. Things that are done by couples is no longer sex is no longer that sacred anymore. A lot is just being pushed down the throats of kids. And I believe you as a parent or you as a guardian, you as a caretaker might want to consider whatever content your kids are watching, if it's appropriate for them, and is it good for their mental well-being, is it good for their health, okay, is it good for their upbringing. You think about it, okay. Time limit is another point to consider when talking screen time with your kids or with your toddlers, okay. Or it's one of those things where you put out certain time ranges where they are allowed to view or to watch certain shows, certain content, certain TV programs, or whatever it is they're consuming, okay. You need to be in charge of putting certain time limits to it. Now there are apps, there are softwares, there are even certain phone devices or computer devices allows you to put time limits to it, okay, as to how much time they can spend online or consuming whatever content they're consuming. And so you might want to take that into consideration, okay. The next thing I'd want to talk about is internet safety. Now this is very important, because if a child, okay, makes the mistake, kids are they want to watch everything, they want to download everything, they want to put their details into almost everything, make certain purchases. And where we know that there's so much fraud in the system, online now, you might want to be extra cautious with internet safety. Now the last thing I'd want to talk about is the educational value, okay. Whatever your kids are watching, is it worth it, okay? Is it adding up to their life, or it's taken out of their life? The internet is known to cause so much depression. This is there's so much research that has been done with apps like Instagram. There's a lot of depression has been accounted to Instagram images where kids wants to feel and be celebrities and be people that they are not, or persons that they are not, okay. And so the internet really has caused a lot of harm, even though there's so much good about it. So you might want to find out is it really worth it, whatever they're watching, especially online stuff they're consuming. So much adult content, so much violent content, criminal content, all being produced online. Whatever your kids are watching, is it valuable to them? Is it going to add up to their life, or it's going to take out of their life? Like, there's just so much the internet offers. Okay, there's so much research that's happening, so much how to do skills, just so much positive stuff happening. Okay, now with all of this content also comes the bad side. Okay, there's so much evil being pushed online. Okay, and so you might want to be very cautious about whatever content they're consuming. Is it educationally accurate, or is it educationally positive? Is it going to add up to their life? Is it going to build them up? Are they going to learn new skills? Are they going to be better people with whatever content they're watching? And so these are the things I believe you might want to consider, okay, when it comes to screen timing. Because whatever we do, kids are going to spend time on screen. We can't do anything about it. It's the age of the internet. Okay, the internet of things is here to stay, and so we might have to brace ourselves and know how to deal with it. Okay? And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was exciting. You learned a thing or two regarding screen time. Okay, if you enjoyed it, do consider subscribing, and do consider sharing to your relative, a parent who is trying to work around screen timing with their kids and all of that. And I hope to come your way with even much more exciting videos and better content as time goes on. Until then, I'll see you in another video, and don't forget, the coming of our Lord is near. Be steady.